Sure. Excellent.
Thank you.
We good?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
This is Arnold Long. I thought I'd bring it back to you guys.
Okay. I'll call to order the August 26th meeting of the Board of Appeals, North Beach Board of Appeals. First order of business is approving the minutes from the previous meeting. Everybody had a chance to read over them?
Yes, I'm good, Jim. See thumbs up from Kessa too.
Stacy, whoever's controlling the Zoom meeting, can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good also. Sorry.
Wait, anybody care to make a motion? Do you have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, we have a motion to approve. I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, getting on to business. We've got 4 vacation rental special exceptions today to hear. The first one is case 24-10. This is for, sorry, give me a second, 3913 3rd Street. The proponents are James and Cheryl. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher the name, Shreans. Are those folks present? 3913 3rd Street. Okay.
Do not see them raising their hand. I know that she emailed earlier today and said she would be in attendance tonight.
All right. I always skip that and just come back to it in case they join later.
Okay,
We do that?
sure. That'd be great.
Okay. So move to case 2411, application for vacation rental, 3942 8th Street. This is for Michael Mendoza. Mr. Mendoza present? Wow.
Oh.
Okay, that's the first.
No, I remember this happened one other time too. One did
Okay,
show
well,
up.
let's see if we can go 3 for 3. All right, so let's move on to case 2412. And we will loop back to these that we're passing over. 2412, application for vacation rental 4036 1st Street. Excellent. Of course, my time. Yes, excellent. I'm sorry, what are your names? My
Amy Andrews. It has Elizabeth on here, but it should be Amy.
okay. Would one of you like to just come make a brief presentation to the board about your property and what you're choosing to do with it, and anything else you'd like to tell the board about your request?
No, just requesting for short-term rental, and it's a 4-bedroom, 2 bath, and simply we've been in North Beach for almost 2 years now. He has a terrible commute right now, so frankly, we want to keep the home, but you know, just need to get him closer to his work.
Okay.
Frankly, so and we've done a lot of work on we were actually Yard of the Month one last year.
Nice.
So we've done a lot of work on the home, so we're very proud of it. We want to hold on to it, but just because his commute, we need to pursue this avenue.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Can I jump in? Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah, I would just like to add that when we, took ownership of this home, it was in pretty poor shape. I think anyone who might be familiar with the communities driven around would have noticed the massive improvements we made, at least throughout the house and in the backyard, but with some from the sidewalk as the front part of it. So, that those are considerable investments that we've made, and I think being able to use this as a vacation rental would help us manage what we need to do, as Amy said, with my commute, but as well as, a return on investment that we put into the place as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Understood.
And we actually really have the community in mind. When Amy mentioned the Garden Yard of the Month award, when we moved in and I learned about that award, I said, we're getting it the first time it's coming up this year, and we got it.
May of last year.
So May of
We're proud of that.
2023.
Very nice. Okay, so while you're here, any questions from the board members? Before I get into my set of questions. Okay, so I have a standard set of questions that I have to ask all proponents.
So
Yeah.
parking? Is there
So,
a parking pad out front?
It's street parking.
It's street parking, yeah.
Any other questions from board members?
Yes, so has there been issues since there's street parking? Has there been issues on your street when it comes to parking with just the neighbors that are there?
I would say you can answer. I would say generally no. I'd say it has less to do with the neighbors who are there and more to do with Neptune's. Because a lot of the clients there do park along and often in front of our house, but some people it bothers them. It doesn't bother us at all. We're always happy. Like, yeah, just go ahead and park there. We both lived on, well, I've lived on Capitol for 20 years, and I was happy if I could park within 3 blocks of my home. So
But we've
Yeah,
made a lot of
that doesn't
friends
bother
with
me so much.
the Neptune's clientele,
Yeah.
so they're kind of,
And they're good
they're our
people.
neighbors. We hope
yeah, they're good people and they look out.
They look out for us,
Yeah.
yeah.
Our cat snuck into the bar and they let us knew about that once.
Okay,
But we have 2 cars between us, and we park both cars in front, and
Never.
there's never been a complaint, and we've never had any issues with parking ourselves.
Okay, thank you.
so I've got standard questions I ask everybody that are required for special exceptions. So they're all yes, no answers. Just answer the best of your ability. Will grant of the special exception for this property be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare? Will grant of the special exception be harmonious in character with other property in the neighborhood? Will grant of the special exception substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood? Will grant of the special exception impede the normal and orderly development of improvement of the surrounding properties? Are there adequate utilities, access, drainage, and necessary facilities for this property? Will pedestrian and vehicle traffic associated with the property be hazardous to or conflict with the existing traffic in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
And does the property conform to the applicable regulations of the district in which it's located? Okay. And anything to note from your perspective, Rick?
No, I just want to make sure that it's mentioned that there were public comments were submitted.
Oh, for this one?
First Street, yes.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't, I don't know if you want to read all of it. Stacy did load them on there. Wasn't in general to your specific home as, more a letter written regarding vacation rentals as a whole.
That's interesting. Is that from Neil Schwartz? Is it-
No, from Natalie. How did it last name? That
Okay, I didn't see that.
What's the general,
Yes,
just general opposition to
Jim,
Airbnb?
Jim, it came in late today, like close to 4:30 today. It came in.
Okay, that's why.
It wasn't specific to their case, but she does live on First Street. Her name's Natalie. And she was just concerned about the parking.
Okay,
Natalie's our next door neighbor. And to the best of my knowledge, we've had really good relations with her. And very, very friendly relations with her, as we did with the previous occupant who passed away in September of last year.
Yeah, it wasn't directed at your home, just some suggestions. A lot of the ones we've heard before, like to see, the renters have some sort of emergency number, so when people are out of town, they can contact someone as opposed to neighbor having to say, use a non-emergency 911 number.
Yeah.
Right.
Those types of general issues.
Yeah, and if, we're not going far, if we do end up, renting, we won't be far, so if there were an issue or something
Yeah.
like that, we could be here fairly quickly. No.
okay, thank you both. Yeah, I think we're good with questions for you all. You can have a seat.
I actually have one question,
Yes,
you know, kind of related to this, but when we have guests, if we're approved and we have guests there, what are their rights in terms of access to the beach as an Airbnb or whatever service we use, but as a vacation renter here in North Beach, do they have access to the beach or do they have to pay full price, or are we permitted to get them passes? I just want to understand the logistics of that a little bit better.
I can answer that, Jim. Yes, they're issued guest passes for your vacation rental. Kelly will issue passes that will stay with the vacation rental in the home.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So yes,
Good question.
they have access to the beach at no charge.
okay, so now I'd like to just open up for public comment. Does anybody have any comments or questions for the proponent they would like to enter in the record? Anybody on the Zoom? No, okay. Move to the discussion portion. Board members, anything we would need to discuss or cover specifically about this property?
So I've seen it over the years and it looks really good. And I mean, normally we have a lot of parking questions, but I mean, I think Neptune's patrons beat out any other parking issues. Oh, wait, that whole road has parking issues. It's got Neptune's, it's got D Street. That's like way overdone and overflows over. So I mean, no matter what they bring in, it can't overcome the already existing conditions that are there. So with that, I don't have anything.
Okay. Anybody would
I don't
like to
have
make a
anything
motion?
either.
Anybody make a motion? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the exception for vacation rental for 4036 for First Street.
All right, we have a
I
motion.
second- I second
Second.
that.
For a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Thank you for coming particularly. Okay, we'll move to the last item on the agenda. It's the vacation rental case 24-13 for 4150 9th Street. The document one way. So are you all the proponents for 9th Street? And I'm sorry, what is your name?
Trang,
Oh, Trang Nguyen.
Trang.
Yes, I remember now. Thank you. Would you just tell the board briefly about your property, what you're planning to do with it, and why you need a special exception?
Yes, so I've moved down here a couple of years ago, and I do travel a lot for my work, and I stay, so my place is available, and I just want to be able to rent it out short term, just so I can keep the place.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
there's nothing really special. But,
Okay.
but that's it.
All right. Board members, do you have any questions?
I do. Does your house have more than one apartment or is it just one?
Yes, so it's got two buildings. One, I think it's approved for long-term, so I have renters. But the main house that I live in, that's the part that I want to be able to Airbnb out when I'm not there.
Okay, so the other house, sorry, I'm just repeating so I know I'm clear on it. The other house will remain long-term tenants and then the main house is the Airbnb.
Yes.
Okay.
And just, I want to confirm, I see here, it says that you plan to rent out. I mean, your expected number would be 300 out of 365 days. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to do that because I live there. I just want to be able to rent it for for however, many days that I'm allowed to rent it out for. So I think I probably just put that number down because I didn't know what to answer. But I plan on living there.
Okay. And the on-site parking spaces, those are specifically for the main house, and it doesn't include those with the long-term rental that would need to park there also?
Well, there's 4 parking spaces, but it's up to me whether the renters have those spaces, or there's street parking as well. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I just want to reiterate, the request for short-term rentals is just for the main house? Okay. Okay. Any other questions from board members?
I do want to just make sure that we're confirming. So the main house has a separate address also from the long-term home. I just want to make sure.
It has the same address, but this is with the previous owner. They have like, I guess, unit A, B, C. Like the way that the builder did it was, it's the same address, but it's unit A, B, and C. And I'm not sure why that is. I have trouble with that too, but it's the same address.
All right. It's just not noted on the application. I just want to make sure if any issues did go down, that the long-term people don't get the brunt of it, you know, if it's the short-term renters. That's why. So maybe having that unit number marked on the application just to differentiate may be a good thing to include. If we can
clarify
figure
that.
that out.
Yeah, we can clarify that, because I'm not really sure how that is, but we definitely, there's a definite like separation between the main house and the long-term rental. It's not all in one building. There's 2 separate buildings.
Okay.
So assuming we get to that point, we could consider approval specific to just the main house. And it's
Correct.
something to think about. Okay, any other questions from board members? All right, so I'm going to ask you the standard questions. Will granted the special exception for this property be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare? Will granted special exception be harmonious in character with other property in the neighborhood? Will granted special exception substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood? Will granted special exception impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding properties? Are there adequate utilities, access, drainage, and the necessary facilities for this property? And will pedestrian and vehicle traffic associated with the property be hazardous to or conflict with the existing traffic in the neighborhood?
No.
And finally, does the property conform to the applicable regulations of the district in which it's located? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for all your feedback. You can be seated. Anybody on the Zoom or anybody in the audience that wants to make any comments? Have any questions?
Yes, we have public comment. Someone would like to speak.
On the Zoom?
Yes, go ahead, Alana.
Okay.
You have to unmute yourself, Alana.
And please identify yourself and indicate your relationship to the property and your address too, please. Can you see this person, Stacy? 'Cause
No, she has her camera off, but she sent me a message in the chat and I told her to go ahead and speak. She says I'm still muted. She has
trying to unmute her, Mickey.
Along with that, along with that.
Are we able to unmute her?
We can only ask.
Yeah, I've asked her to unmute herself.
While we're waiting, is there anybody else that has any comment or question about this proposal?
I think she's gonna type it in. Her name is Alana. I can never say her last name, and I apologize. She lives at 9304 Atlantic Avenue.
Okay,
I'll let her type it in and then I'll read it.
okay.
She wanted to know to confirm you live at the house now and she's asking the applicant to confirm she lives at the house now and has been living there.
I'm away a lot. I'm away a lot, so for
Okay.
my handlers. Stays there a lot.
I
Did
was
you
kind
hear
of
that?
wondering the same thing, because I live down the street from there.
You know, I do. Up there a lot. That's why I would like to be able to rent it out short term.
She asked to please confirm regarding parking.
We have 4 parking spaces and also there's street parking.
Okay.
But those 4 are shared by the long-term rental and the main house? Yes, okay. Okay, anything else from the chat,
said-
Stacy?
She said the tenants use the spots, the confirmed 4 spots.
Is it,
Yeah, so if we do have renters, then we wouldn't be there, so they are allowed to have 2 parking spaces, I suppose, from the main house. At least 2 parking spaces.
Okay.
thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, any other public questions or comments? All right, move to the board discussion portion of the program. Any concerns, anything we need to cover regarding this specific property? I mean, I think of all the places we've seen, parking is the least concern. I mean, they have plenty of on-site parking plus street parking in this place, so seems even with the multiple rentals there, it should not be an issue.
Just want to confirm if there's a contingency plan, when Ms. Nguyen is not there, if something does happen, that she does have a plan for emergencies? Or is this going to be kind of managed by a property manager?
Likely it's going to be managed by a property manager. I plan on having a company manage it, but I'm very close by.
Okay,
Your application says this was a 3-bedroom. I thought that was a 2-bedroom house.
It's a 3-bedroom house.
Okay.
But one can consider a office. I guess, and it's a two, at least 2 bedroom, it's it's a loft, but it can be considered as a 3-bedroom house.
Okay.
I think as far as the management company is concerned, or whomever is gonna manage, I think the important thing is that you have contact with your neighbors, because the fact is, issues come up with these houses for 2 reasons: parking and noise. And you want to deal with these issues, you know, if they arise. So it's most beneficial that you're in touch with your neighbors, so they know they can contact you, or they know how to contact the management company in case issues do arise, because if there are repeated issues.
Definitely, we would want to inform our neighbors. and-
Right. Absolutely.
I guess I was thinking about emergency, like if there was a toilet blowing or something like that. And, you know,
Oh, right.
Definitely, we don't want to, I don't want to disturb my neighbors in any kind of ways if there is issues. I would want them to be able to contact.
Sure. Okay, any other issues to discuss among the board? Anybody care to make a motion?
Yep, I move to approve the vacation rental special exception for the main house at 4150 9th Street, North Beach, Maryland.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the vacation rental specifically for the main house at 4150 9th Street. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
We have a second. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations. Yep, thank you for coming. Okay, so I see we have some more folks on. Are they public commenters, or do we believe any of these are the first 2 proponents for Third Street?
Mike Mendoza's online now. He is the 3942 8th Street.
Okay.
2411.
Hi, Mr. Mendoza.
Hey there, sorry,
Thank
technical
you.
issues that got me late, sorry about that.
That's all right. So you are 3942 8th Street, is
Yes, that's correct.
that correct? Okay, would you just give us a little brief synopsis about, you know, what your property, what you'd like to do with it, and why you need a special exception?
Sure, so I think we've owned this house, my partner and I, for about 18 years, I guess, 16, 18 years. We purchased the house next door, 3950 8th Street, which was pretty derelict and almost condemned. We renovated that and we use that now as our primary residence. 3942 has been our guest house for family and friends who come down here to visit the beach and, you know, go out on the bay for a couple of years now. But we're traveling on it. We don't use it as much anymore. I think over the last year, we've only had friends in there for about 4 or 5 weeks. So we figured it's probably a good idea to use as an Airbnb when it's not being used, just so that there's someone in here using it. The lower level, the basement, is a separate unit that is my home office where I am now, and also a gym. So we're in here, but the upstairs just doesn't get used anymore. So we thought it just made sense to make it available to people who want to come visit the town and experience the beach, and to make a little income off it as well.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board members for Mr. Mendoza?
Maybe it's just me. I believe you me. Math and square footage is not my thing, but the square footage that's on the application for the structure, is that correct?
I don't have that in front of me. What's the number?
It says 42.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
2,000 square feet. Yeah.
Okay. If we can get
must
that
be a typo.
updated, that would be great. That would be helpful, please.
Sorry.
Oh,
it says 6 spots.
all right.
Yeah, and 6 parking spots also. Yes.
Yes, we have a 100-foot driveway, so there's plenty of parking there.
So those parking spots are actually on your property?
Correct, they're off street, and then I guess there's about 4 more spaces on the street in front of the house as well.
And you said you purchased the place right next door and live there?
Correct, it's right next door.
So, I mean, that's amazing right there for, you know, you're not gonna have any wildness going on.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah. And your number of days you're thinking you would be renting it out is approximately 60, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I plan to only rent this by the week because I don't really want to be bothered with 1-night or 2-nighter people. So I don't really know what the take rate will be on it.
Gotcha.
I'm just being conservative. If someone wants to rent it more, I certainly would be willing to, but we're going to still retain it for when we have company because our other house has 1 guest room and there's 2 more over here. So that it's just been really great also to not have to wake up to your company when they're staying over. It's nice to have an extra house. So we'll still be using it for that, but when we're not, we'd like to make it available.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Mendoza, I've got several standard questions I need to ask of you. Just the yes, no questions. Just answering to the best of your ability. Will granted the special exception for the property be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare?
No,
Will granted the special exception be harmonious in character with other property in the neighborhood?
it will.
Will granted the special exception substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood?
No, it will not.
Will granted the special exception impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding properties?
No, it will not.
Are there adequate facilities, utilities, access, drainage for this property?
Yes, there is.
Will pedestrian and vehicle traffic associated with the property be hazardous to or conflict with the existing traffic in the neighborhood?
No, it will not.
And finally, does the property conform to the applicable regulations of the district in which it's located?
It does, yes.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so any other questions on the board before we open it up for public comment? So I'm sorry, what did you say the square footage actually was, Mr. Mendoza?
It's 2,000 square feet. It's 1,100
Okay.
square feet upstairs, 900 downstairs.
Okay, thank you. Any other board member questions?
None from me.
None for me either.
Okay, so open it up for public comment. If anybody has any comments, please identify yourself, your address, your relationship to the property, and make your comments brief, please. Anybody in the audience? I'm assuming not. Anybody on the Zoom call?
I do not have anything.
Okay. All right, board discussion and motions. Oh,
No discussion. Go ahead.
so, I'm sorry, one more question, Mr. Mendoza. The second picture is showing the back of your property. Is that also showing the parking area behind the property? Is that what the gravelly looking thing
Yeah.
is?
Gravel is
Okay.
the driveway, yes.
Okay. And is that accessed by 8th Street or does it come from the cross street?
It's 8th Street.
It is, okay.
It is. There's 1 parking spot to the right of the garage. So if I recall that picture, that might be what you're seeing. So it's a straight shot down and then you can turn
Okay.
right.
Oh, right. I remember it now. Okay. Thank you. So
Yeah.
unusual for us to have 2 properties with plenty of on-site parking.
Nice.
So
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the application for special exception for vacation rental for 3942 8th Street.
okay, we have
I
a motion to
second.
approve. We have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Congrats, Mr. Mendoza.
Thank you.
Okay, so do we have the proponents for 3rd Street on with us yet? This
Yes,
was
yes.
James and
Can you hear
She's
me?
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
yes. Great. So is this Cheryl we're speaking
This
with?
is, yes, this is Cheryl, and I'm sorry I'm on a public street. So if you get some noise, I apologize for that.
Okay. So, can you just briefly tell the board about your property, what you'd like to do with it, and why you need a special exception for a vacation rental?
Sure. My husband and I bought this property with the eventual, of us moving there and living there permanently. So that will be our forever home to live near our grandson. But in the meantime, before we're able to retire and come down there, we would like to have it be a vacation rental just to help us cover some of the costs in the interim. We expect that we'll move down there in the next year or so, but we do have an elderly parent that we're taking care of, so the time frame is not certain. But we do plan to live there permanently at some point.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board members? I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Sheeran's. It's like Ed Sheeran with an
Oh,
S. on
okay,
it.
excellent. Any questions from Ms. Sharon's?
I think the normal, what kind of parking, what car or parking restrictions are you gonna have? And how many parking spaces do you have? You have 2, but a plus on the application?
I think you can fit 2 cars, and depending on how you park, you can fit a third, or how big the cars are. But it is a driveway, off-street parking, and in our vacation rental, we're only allowing 4 people. So I would assume the maximum would always be 2 cars at the most. There is parking out front on the street like all the other people have, but we do have that driveway that fits at least 2 cars.
Okay.
And I know you just stated it, but I just wanted to confirm based on the floor plan, it looks like that there are 3 bedrooms. You are only opening up the rental for 2 bedrooms. Is that correct?
That is correct. The one thing that they were calling a bedroom is very small, and we have not set it up for a bedroom. It's more of an office or just sitting type of room to enjoy reading a book or whatever. So yes, we only have 2 functional bedrooms, and that's why we are keeping it to 4 people only.
Okay, thank you.
So renters will have access to the whole place, it's just, you only have it set up as 2 bedrooms as opposed to 3.
Exactly. And so they have the access to the whole place, the backyard and everything. But yeah, only 2 bedrooms. They both have queen beds. So, however sleeping arrangements are made for children or adults, there's, plenty of space for 4 people.
Sure, thank you. Any other board member questions? No? Okay, so we do have a couple of public comments that were on the agenda. We have a public comment from 3913 3rd Street and a public comment from 8930 Frederick Street. Are either of those folks present today?
I didn't believe them to be present, attending today. They just submitted the comment.
Okay. So one was kind of generally opposed to the idea and the other was generally supportive.
That's correct.
Yes. Okay, any other folks in the room or on the Zoom that care to make a comment?
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. Moving to board discussion. Any specific issues or concerns about this property?
I don't have any specific ones. I mean, we all know right around the corner, Frederick has parking issues, but they got on-site parking and they're only renting it as a 2-bedroom, so I don't really see any issues there.
Okay. Anybody care to make a motion?
Yep. I move to approve the vacation rental special exception for 3913 3rd Street.
Okay, we have a motion to approve for 3913 3rd Street.
I second that motion.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations, Ms. Sheerans.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. So that's all the items on the agenda. Any other things we need to discuss?
I do
Nope.
not have anything further.
Okay. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks all for joining.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank
Aye.
you.
Good night.
Everyone.